few years in, I got the phone call one day, and he's like, I don't know if we can keep doing this, man. You're upside down $40 million dollars.
This is what I'm speaking of Conor, is this marketing on Conor's behalf?
I will tell you this. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Ali, Conor, both level when it comes to mental warfare. A month and a half later, we own the UFC for $2 million.
It's worth what now?
12, 13 billion. If I brought up fucking Jake Paul, pretty much everybody in the room and the other room wants to see Jake Paul get knocked out.
Did you help set that up? Because I know you're close with Tyson.
God, no. I want to go to Caesar Palace. I'm in this war with them right now. Since Jan 1, I beat them for $16.5 million. I've been clipping them from anywhere from 800 to $1 million a night. When I lose, I'll go guns a-blazing and go through my whole credit line, which is $6 million.
You've lost 6?
Yeah, so I'll lose $6 million. Well, I'm still up in $10 million on them.
You lost.
Where's my phone? Guys, hear me in the other room? Bring me my phone if you can hear me.
Why? What do you got? What do you got?
I'll show you something.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant. Today we're here with the big man. It's Dana White in the building. He's in the building. Finally, long overdue. Okay, I did a lot of research, obviously, for this because I wanted to, go in depth. I came across something. I don't know if this is true or not, but it's out there on the internet that there was like a hit on you or something in Boston by Whitey Bulger. Is this true?
It's not true. That is not true.
So how does this story even get out there?
Why? Sort of like that, but it wasn't Whitey Bulger and it wasn't whatever.
Okay.
So back in the day in Boston.
That was in the 90s, man. How people can still remember those kind of stuff, man? This kind of stuff was in the 90s, man. That's a long time, man. But the journey is long for Dana White, man. He has a long journey, man. Everything is accomplished, man. Let's check it out, man. It's about everything, man. Let's check it out. I like that one. Let's check it out.
Boston, Whitey Bulger ran south.
Of course.
Okay?
Yeah.
Legit. I mean, you've seen the movies, you've seen all the shit. And, it was like living in South Boston at that time was like another fucking, like these guys didn't know what century it was, man. It was crazy.
Wait, why?
And there were rules in that town. Like you didn't call the police, and they later ended up finding out he was working with the FBI.
Yeah.
So people that did call the fucking police, he would know that you fucking did it. And he was working with the FBI against other mob guys and shit like that. It's a fascinating story. But when you live there, you didn't do that shit. One of his guys, said that I owed him money.
Wow. Did you owe money?
No, I didn't owe him money. I didn't even know him. Never met him, never nothing. And, it got to the point where, I got a phone call one day at the house that I lived in and basically said, you got till Sunday to fucking pay us. Sunday at 1 or whatever the number was. And I said,
that's scary, man.
And they're like, are you going to find out? So I literally hung up the phone, picked it back up and called Delta. And got a one-way fucking ticket to Vegas.
One.
And that was a wrap. And what's crazy about it is when you look at, how everything played out in my life, including, the purchase of the UFC, had that not happened, I wouldn't have been in Vegas at the time that all this was going on.
Oh, wow.
When you look back on your life, and I'm sure everybody on this fucking couch and everybody watching can do it, you say, holy shit, this happened, that happened, this happened.
Yeah.
And at that time...
What if it was really Fertitta? The guy called you, if you don't move to Vegas, you're fucking dead.
Well, that's crazy too, because when I got out there, I sort of I was on the grind when I was in my 20s. And like I quit drinking when I was 21. I stopped drinking and I only focused on work and what I wanted to do, right?
So random.
You quit drinking at 21?
I had this fucking... I quit at 21. That shows you what I was doing. But we had the fake IDs and all that shit. I'd already done all that shit.
He had been drinking for 19 years.
It was good. I got it out of my system before I was 21.
Yeah.
So... I had this blanket policy. When you get into your 20s, everybody starts getting fucking married. All your friends. I didn't go to anybody's wedding. Blanket policy.
Wow.
You were getting married, love you, I'll send you a gift. I'm not going to your wedding.
Why? Why would you refuse to go to the most important day of their life?
Because it's fucking time consuming, man. It's fucking weekend. Somebody's getting fucking married. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm happy for you, but I'm not going.
Not anymore, man. Not anymore, man. I don't think it's that fast no more. Not every weekend now. It probably every other weekend now. Because people don't get married much no more, man. It probably every other weekend, man.
You would have hated my wedding. You would have fucking hated my wedding. Indian wedding, 3 days.
That's the thing. Then you got these people who do the destination wedding.
Okay.
I'm out. So
There's a whole
there's
plan
a
of
kid
that
named
thing,
Adam
man.
Corrigan that I grew up with in Vegas, right?
Okay.
And he had money, I didn't have money, and he was always a good dude. He would pick me up and drive me to school every day. Would drive me to school every day. So when you think about in high school, to get up and get me and drive me to work, this dude had to wake up an hour earlier every day to drive me to school. Never forgot that. People who do things for me like that, I never forget. He was getting married.
Wow.
So there was no fucking way
Gotta go.
I wasn't going to go to his wedding.
Right.
Gotta go.
I go to his wedding, and who do I run into? The Fertitta brothers.
Wow.
Bing.
Now-
Whom I haven't seen in fucking years. Lorenzo Fertitta comes up to me and says, "Hey, how you been?" And this and that. Good. You know, we hadn't seen each other since high
Because
school.
you guys went to high school together. That's
Right.
another thing a lot of people don't even fucking realize. You guys knew each other originally.
From high school. So then I don't talk to him. And it's like me and Lorenzo knew each other in high school, but we weren't friends. It's not
Got
like
it.
we hung out and did whatever.
Yeah.
We knew each other. So he says to me at the wedding, I hear you're doing this boxing thing. I just got on the athletic commission. I would love to come train with you. I said, let's do it on Monday.
Okay.
He came and trained with me on Monday, and we've been together ever since.
Get the fuck out of here.
So the one fucking wedding that I go to,
Unbelievable.
Imagine where you'd be if you go to all the weddings.
Yeah, you should have gone.
President.
The president of America ruling the world.
You'd be Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Thank God.
Why
For
they
all
always
boys,
gotta
like, you
bring
could
Jeff
either way.
Bezos,
We
man?
have a chance.
So you guys and you're training him in boxing.
right?
Because you were training people, you were running boxing gyms as well.
Exactly. So there was a gym when I first came back to Vegas. There was a gym called United Champions, and it was me, this guy named Nick One Kick, who was a Muay Thai trainer, and
Sickness.
Roger Mayweather. Us
Get the
three.
fuck out of here.
Hold on,
Us-
so
us
you've known the
three-
Mayweathers for
Yeah,
decades.
Yeah,
30 plus.
And was Roger as wild back in the day?
Roger was a fucking maniac.
Okay, so people, just to put this in perspective, Roger trained Floyd
Right.
because Floyd and his dad, they had some sort
His
of...
dad was in jail. Oh. So his dad was in jail. So while he was in jail, his uncles, Roger and Jeff
Yep.
took
Jeff,
care of
that's
Floyd.
right, yeah. Jeff was much younger, though,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
exactly.
Yeah.
Jeff was younger than Roger. but
Yeah.
yeah. So those guys, sort of took Floyd under their wing and helped Floyd out while his dad was in jail. So that's how me and Floyd became close and got to know each other, early on. So it was me, Roger, and Nick One Kick that worked out of United Champions.
Wow.
Sorry, can I ask you about your first time meeting Floyd? What's your impressions of him? What do you think of him?
Yeah, I
I'm just
liked
curious.
Floyd. Floyd came out of, the Olympics and was a, charismatic, good-looking kid, talented. And I like Floyd.
Wow.
It's funny, when I first, go ahead.
No, I didn't want to fast forward, but like the Floyd Connor fight now,
fuck.
is
Yeah.
an even crazier event. But we can get to that later.
Right,
Sorry to
yeah.
interrupt.
No, Floyd and I have known each other for a long time. And, when I first met Floyd, he lived in an apartment that Top Rank used to put a lot of their fighters in. He lived in this apartment down on, I want to say it was off Flamingo. And, he just started to make some money.
Yeah.
So, I went over his house. He was showing me all the sweaters that he bought and all the things, Floyd's always been that guy.
Yeah.
He
That's
likes
what
to shop
happened,
and he
man.
likes
That's
to buy
what
clothes.
happened. When you start getting that paper, man, you buy all kind of clothes.
It started the minute he made his first dollar.
Right. Okay, so you're in this gym. I imagine tons of characters and everything rolling through the gym. Like, what is your period of ingratiating yourself to these guys?
Yeah,
Are
so
you a
what
little
would happen
nervous
is
around
we had
it?
a real weird fucking dynamic there because I was training like businessmen and housewives and shit like that. And then you got fucking Roger Mayweather, 100%. I mean, there were
With the
fucking,
pads, yeah.
the fights would break out in this fucking gym. And I'll never forget. So there was this heavyweight and his name was Tracy. And him and fucking Roger Mayweather got into it one day in there. And Roger had fucking jeans on and a shirt, takes his fucking shirt off and like, we're fucking fighting. So they get up into the ring and they put gloves on and Tracy and Roger Mayweather start fucking fighting. Tracy's a heavyweight, he's a pro.
Roger fought at what,
Yeah,
147?
exactly. Roger's fucking
he's
this
a
big,
rail. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And they're fucking banging.
Yeah.
Bang.
All right, for you guys that don't really just come in, y'all don't really see what's going on. I'm just reacting to the Dana White, cause back in the day, when he started doing the UFC, so all his story, all the journey, everything he been to, and everything, man. That's a nice story. So I'm just bringing to you guys just to see how it goes. But I like the interview, man. It's a really fantastic interview, man, because he's bringing you back all the way when before UFC even starts. So he bring you from the purchase UFC, from everything you see on TV, news, everywhere you see UFC now. Even Trump go up there often. So it's a big deal, man. We gotta know the history of those kind of stuff, man. Let's keep pushing with it.
Hanging in there, right? So the bell rings and Tracy stops punching and Roger fucking blasts him and says, "No rounds, motherfucker."
Wow.
And they just keep fucking going. And then what eventually happens is the heavyweight gasses out and Rogers fucking just beats the fucking shit out of him to the point where everybody had to jump in the ring and fucking break it up.
Stop it.
Yeah, that was the kind of shit that went on there.
Wow.
On a daily basis.
Right. What would you say?
And then you had Nick One Kick, the Muay Thai guys, fucking crew that was in there. That crazy shit would happen. It was just, it's fucking nuts. The whole fight world, the real fight world is a crazy fucking business.
And
man.
why were you drawn to this?
I've always liked it since I was a kid.
But did you like chaos and shit? Like
I love everything about fighting, man. And it's not just, I was a huge boxing fan, obviously, but boxing, martial arts, fucking the fight after school at the park. I mean, all that type. Oh, I fucking
fight after school at the park. We all remember that one, man. Oh man, he just interested, man. The way he started, man, because people just find each other, just going at it. So it's a messy business, man. I get it, man. It's really messy. For you to interested about that, oh man, you got really a bad mouth for, man. You got really bad to feel that way, man. But shout out to Danny White, man. Let's keep pushing with it.
Because you were getting kicked out of school.
I didn't miss one fucking fight that happened after school at the park.
Were you involved? Were you?
Some, but mostly watched. I watched a lot of fights. Yeah, I like fights, man. I just always have.
Okay.
It's what I love. I mean, look how long I've been doing this. And I still love it. I can't wait for this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a well, we'll get to that later. There's a really cool story about you that I think that has been confirmed, but it was told by a mutual friend. And it was about when Rogan was going through one of his many cancellations. And maybe some people at the network were like, I think we got to set this guy aside. And what I heard was that you said, if he goes, I go.
Yeah. I never talked. So Lex Friedman, I did his podcast, and apparently he was there when this all went down.
Yeah.
But this has never been talked about or brought up or whatever, and would have never been talked about if Lex Friedman didn't bring it up. But when Rogan was going through his thing, it was at the peak of this cancel culture shit going on, right? And I was like, yeah, fuck that shit. First of all, it's easy to look at things, like when you look at Rogan and Rogan makes shitloads of money. He's got the biggest podcast in the world and all this shit. But back in the day, so when we bought the UFC was based in New York. So the offices were here. There was
Even though it was illegal to put on the fight?
But their offices were here. Bob Meyerowitz, the owner, is from New York, and the offices were here in New York. So after we bought the company, I jumped on a plane and I flew out here. And I had to go through the office and figure out what I was going to bring to Vegas and what I was going to leave, what was worth it. Well, they had a room that was just full of fucking tapes, right? So I had to go through each fucking tape and watch every tape to make sure it wasn't something important. So
Joe Rogan is another thing too, man. Joe Rogan got should tell his story, man, cause he been doing content, he been doing podcasts for a long time, man. Joe Rogan been doing podcasts for a long time, man. So I'm guessing his story is long too, man. Cause I remember I was watching something on Joe Rogan, man, one time, cause he said he was doing podcasts for like a year, 2 years. Nobody watched. There's no view, nothing. He just like a couple couple hundred views, nobody watch, and he keep doing it for like a year, 2 years, man. That's really you gotta believe in those. You gotta believe in it to go that far, man. Joe Rogan, so he deserves every penny he has, man. Those guys are legend, man. Those guys are just the one that bring the podcast vibe to us. Joe Rogan is one of those people, man, because they've been doing it for a long time. So shout out to Joe Rogan, man.
Pop in this tape, and it's the Keenan Ivory Wayans show. He had his own talk show.
I remember that. Yeah.
And they had fucking Joe Rogan on.
Yeah.
And Keenan Ivory Wayans says to him, "You're into this ultimate fighting stuff, huh?" And Rogan starts going fucking off on the UFC, Maurice Smith, and what he would do to all these action stars and all this stuff. And this is the fucking fear factor guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the way that Joe talked and how passionate he was, I go, this is the fucking guy that I need.
Oh,
this
bingo.
is the fucking guy. It just hit me, right? So I reach out to Rogan, and we start going back and forth. And I said, I would love you to come in and be one of the commentators. And Rogan's attitude was, so wait a minute. So you're saying I can come over there, sit in the best seats in the house and watch the sport that I love for fucking free?
Yeah.
I'm in. So at the time, financially, we were getting fucking murdered. Rogan did the first 12 or 13 shows for free.
Wow.
For free.
Yeah. And he's stoked.
That's months.
And
That's
killed
years,
it. And the thing that I loved about Joe Rogan was when you were sitting there and watching Joe Rogan on TV and he was on the mic, he wasn't one of these HBO fucking goofball talking fucking heads that were being paid.
Yeah.
You felt that this dude not only knew what he was talking about, but loved what this is about. Yeah. And that began the relationship with me and Joe Rogan that now has been, coming up on 20-something years.
Okay,
and
so
you think that you're gonna fucking cancel Joe Rogan and you're gonna and I'm gonna just say okay? Yeah. No, I will fucking quit. Yeah. This job and leave and go do something else before you're gonna try to fucking.
I loved it.
And the whole cancel thing. I literally just talked about this a couple days ago with, if you're in the right place in your life, and who the fuck's gonna cancel you? Yeah. The only ones that can really cancel you are your fucking family and your friends. Yeah.
He's right on that one, man. Cause I've never understand the whole culture of cancel. I've never understand it, man. Cause I feel like they cancel people that the people they don't like. I always feel like there's an agenda behind it. Everything, man. I always feel like there's an agenda. There's somebody behind it. They just don't like you. They try to cancel you. I always feel like that. So it's always, but anyway, you're just not really gonna get canceled, man. You still got your family, you still got whatever you're doing, you still doing it. You're just not gonna be on the screen. Like, okay, if you're on the screen or not, you still living. I never understand it, man. Let's keep pushing, man.
Fuck all these other people.
The strangers you never see in your life.
Who gives a shit what any of these fucking people think?
Dude, it's so funny how serendipitous your life is. You get kicked out of Boston, luckily. You go to a wedding randomly and meet the guy. You're looking at tapes. Did you look through every single tape, or?
I went through every fucking tape in that building. Yeah.
Because you have to clear out a hoarder's supply closet.
Well, you have to make sure you're not throwing away something that's actually valuable that we'll need in the future. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Okay. But I had to determine what we were going to keep and what we weren't going to keep.
Did you get anything else out of those tapes? Or it's all worth it if you got Joe, but
if you look at what became of Joe Rogan and how important he is to the sport,
huge.
Without a doubt, the most valuable tape that I watched that day.
Absolutely.
You were saying the business was losing money like crazy. Do you ever sit down with the Fertitta brothers and go, okay, let's buy this. This can be something. Why do you even feel it can be something? Like, take me through this logic.
I'll tell you a crazy story. So at the time, I was managing guys, right? Boxers and MMA fighters.
What boxers do you have?
I had
any guys I would know?
And how did that happen?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Somebody else just asked me this question too. How it happened, I don't know. I always had this thing where, I don't know, people would come to me and ask me to help them with, you should see my office now. Like every day, a majority of my day is taking meetings with people that are building businesses and want to ask if I will be a part of their. It's like fucking Shark Tank at my office every day. I'm literally in there and people are pitching me their business ideas. And it, oddly enough, before I had ever really done anything, I owned gyms and was in the training business. People have always come to me and asked me to help them do something.
Yeah.
You know, so it happened in the fight world. I had these gyms and I was training people and fighters would come to me. Derek, Derek, what's your last name, Derek? I got Derek a fight with Roy Jones Jr. I did the deal for that fight.
Wow.
Derek Harmon. I got Derek Harmon the fight with Roy. I negotiated that deal and did all that. Before
HBO?
we bought the UFC, that was the biggest thing I had ever done.
Wow.
Before we bought the UFC.
And now, this is Roy's heyday. Are you telling your fighter, like, go out there, give it your best shot?
No, this is let's see how much money we can get for this fight. Fucking Roy Jones.
Yeah.
Roy Jones is going to get all the money.
Yeah.
You're going to make a couple $1 million and get in there and try to fucking beat him.
Guys, we got to do dates real quick. Indianapolis.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing, man. He just a great story to see those guys, man. Right now, where they came from. And Joe Rogan, man, I have a real respect for Joe Rogan too, man. There's those kind of guy, man, that been to it, like Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Danny White, Mike Tyson, all those kind of guy, man. Those are legend for sure, man. Those are people definitely, you just gotta study the history of them, see how much work they put it in. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous how much work those people put it in. But I always got respect for those people, man. Let's keep pushing with it.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so you guys make the offer. What's the offer? And how do you even approach them?
Yeah.
So here's what happened. So I was representing Tito Ortiz at the time, right? And Tito,
Your boy.
Yeah, my boy. Tito had got fucked over by them because he showed up to a fight and he was supposed to be paid a certain amount of money. Well, the fight didn't do well. So right before the fight goes off, they went back and told him, yeah, we're not paying you what we told you we were going to pay you. We're going to pay you this instead. And he's like, well, then I won't fucking fight. And they said, then don't fight. Doesn't matter. We don't care. We're not going to make any money on this event anyway.
So they're hemorrhaging money.
So Tito had to fight. So he fought. So I'm going in negotiating his new contract, and I'm trying to get them to pay him the money that they fucked him on that fight, right? So finally, the owner blows up on me and says, you know what? There is no more fucking money. I don't even know if I can put on the next event. I literally hung up the phone, picked it back up, called the Fertitta brothers and said, I think the fucking UFC's in trouble. I think they're going to go under. And I think we could buy the company, and I think we should. So Lorenzo fucking reached out to Bob Meyerowitz, and, a month and a half later, we own the UFC for $2 million.
Now, I don't want to count.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, so you buy it for $2 million. It's worth what now?
Now?
Yeah.
12, 13 billion.
Okay. That's a good return.
That's a big. That's
Okay.
It sounds great now, but we went through a lot of shit to get
That's
here.
what I want
There's
to
a
hear.
lot of work.
How
into
long
it.
was the UFC
For sure.
around before that day? Like before you bought it?
Well, now, we bought it back in 2001, so we've owned it for 23, 25 years, whatever the fuck it is. It's been around for 30 years. So
Started in 94, I think.
Yeah.
Now, question, I don't want to count your pockets, but $2 million back then seems like a lot of money. You guys own some gyms, whatever. How do you get that money together? What's that process like? You taking out loans?
Well, now, he just said, what a great return on your money.
Absolutely.
At the time when we bought it for $2 million, we were literally the fucking redheaded stepchild of the Fertitta portfolio. Like every, smart fucking, numbers fucking geek that worked for the Fertittas hated this investment, thought it was ridiculous, and that the Fertittas were going to lose all their money. Every fucking one of them. There's a lot of people that run around now claiming, oh, the UFC, I believe. Yeah.
No.
Nobody fucking. There were 3 guys that believed in it. Me, Frank, and Lorenzo. That was fucking it.
Yeah, okay.
And basically what we had to do.
Listen, man. If you make it that far, man, you're a real one for that, man. I appreciate all y'all, man. Consider to subscribe, man. You should definitely subscribe, man. If you make it that far on this interview, man, it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, man. I got my little. If you are a real man, you gotta wear a suit, man. I wear a suit today. Let's check it out, man.
Was start to think about this too. When we bought it, None of us had ever fucking done production.
Yeah.
We'd never put on a fucking show in our lives.
Okay, so are you outsourcing? Are you reaching out to boxing guys?
No, here's what we knew.
Okay.
We were huge fans.
Right.
We were fight nerds. We knew what we wanted. Now it was just a matter of building it. And the problem is, number one, when you want to do what we did, and number two, when you want to do what we did and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, it's expensive, right? So every time you put on a show, it's a couple $1,000,000.
Wow.
So
are you losing immediately?
A few years in, you're upside down $40 million fucking dollars.
This is what. Wow. Because I think the perception of the UFC is immediate success.
Yeah.
You guys buy it. Chuck Liddell, Tito, they start banging away. Then this Conor McGregor guy.
I never understand those kind of stuff, man. Cause there's some business out there, man, that be losing money every year, and they just okay with it. Amazon went to the same thing. Amazon said they was losing money for years and years, 5-10 years, like couple years going down the line, man. They losing money every year. It's just you sit down, and as a regular people, you like, how you keep going? Like, where you get those money from? And you go, you understand more, and you realize, man, there's a fund, there's people that do those kind of stuff, man. And as you go, you understand it more. But it's crazy, man, to see business going like that, losing money every year and they still going, man. But that's a journey, man. Definitely, that's a journey. When you believe in it, it's just natural. You just keep going. You're like, okay, that's fine. One day I'm gonna make it. It just feel like that. It just feel normal. Well, I like it. Let's keep pushing with it, man.
It comes around and everybody's a billionaire. So it's done. I want to know the most you're down 40 million at one point.
So we're probably, by 2004, we're upside down $40 million.
Now,
and we were only doing 5 events a year.
And explain to me what that means. That's like you're losing money on the shows you're putting on. You're losing money on what? The deals you're doing?
So we're losing money on the shows. We're losing money on overhead, the expenses for the office and employees. And every way that you could possibly lose money in a business, we're fucking losing money.
What keeps you going at this point mentally? Because 40 million is, I know you got a lot of willpower. But 40 million is 40 million.
Understand this too. Think about this. So when we bought the UFC, right? We basically bought those 3 letters and an old wooden octagon, and we had like 13, 14 fucking contracts.
Yeah.
That's it, right? The old owner had sold away the home video rights.
Oh, no.
The video game rights. And all that shit. Lionsgate Entertainment owned all that shit.
Man.
Probably one of the fucking craziest stories that's never been told is, you want to talk about people not believing in the fucking UFC and thinking that this thing was not going to work? We went to Lionsgate, right, to negotiate, to buy the rights back to all of our fucking intellectual property. The fucking everything from T-shirts to video games to action figures, everything that you can throw a fucking UFC logo on. Now, if you're Lionsgate, why the fuck would you sell that?
Yeah.
Right?
The bigger you make the business, the more money they make.
100%, right? That's how much people didn't fucking believe. We went in and negotiated the rights. And when we walked out of that fucking office, they were probably like, these poor fucking jerk-offs are going to pay us, $3 million over the next fucking 4 years for these rights back. And, you got some, again, a numbers guy who doesn't fucking believe in anything, not just that, but he's like, if you look at our books over the next 3 years, we're going to add these numbers. Imagine if Lionsgate wouldn't sell us those rights back. How much fucking money they'd be making right now off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So you're down 40. Tell me the moment.
Oh, and by the way, when we bought these rights back, that's when the DVD business went like this. So we're putting out these fucking DVDs.
That's what I remember people watching it originally. It wasn't pay-per-view.
The first fucking checks we started to get were from DVDs.
Wow.
When the DVD business took off, we were getting $2 million fucking checks off of DVD.
Is that helping float you? Like, I'm still curious.
No, it didn't help float. It was the only revenue coming in at the time.
Because you put on, just so I can understand.
Yeah, because back then, man, DVD was something hot. Even rapper, people doing music, they come up out the DVD because most people usually, do a something and then they put out the DVD. DVD was I don't know if you're young watching this, man. Maybe you in your 18, 17. DVD was a big deal back then. So I remember those type of stuff, man. I remember buying DVD to listen to a music, buying DVD to watching a movie and stuff like that. So DVD was a big thing, man. Once you get a DVD that you like, man, you're watching that thing like 20, 50 times. It's always playing. I remember those times, man. DVD was a big deal back then. Let's check it out. Let's keep pushing with it, man.
And the people at home can understand. You put on an event, you would create a DVD of the event, and then you would sell these DVDs to the people that couldn't watch it on pay-per-view or whatever.
100%.
Got it.
And then we started doing compilation shows. Best knockouts, best submissions, all that kind of stuff. And that shit sold
crazy.
really well.
Yeah, okay.
Now, what I'm still trying, because as a comic, there's a period where you don't think you're gonna make it. I'm broke. I'm not 40 million in debt. What is your mentality as you are upside down 40 million? What are you thinking? What's your emotional state? I think you're with your wife at the time. What's that?
Yeah, I was always just on the fucking grind. I go into work every day and I keep my head down.
You don't even
keep fucking going for it. I mean, if you look at what we've done, I get to work at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning every day, and I leave the office at 8 o'clock, 8:30 every fucking night. So that's always been my drive, my focus, my mentality, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But I got the phone call one day from Lorenzo.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know if we can keep doing this, man. This is fucking,
When
get out there and
What year is this?
Yeah.
What year is this?
2004.
Wow.
So 2003 you
That's
buy.
not far away, bro.
So one you buy. 200004 you get the phone call. Okay, how does the phone call go?
2004. And
You need to leave Vegas.
get out there.
There's less
gotta
debt
go.
over there. You know what I mean? It's $2,000.
Whitey, I need to come back.
Yeah, right? That's nothing.
Now I see how Whitey built. So, get out there and see what you could sell this thing for. So I start making calls.
Oh, fuck.
And I call him back at the end of the day, and I'm like, 6 or 7 million. And he's like, okay.
Oh, man.
Did you lie? Did you get like a...
That's like nothing. That's like nothing, man. 6 to 7 million when you like 40 million down. Oh man, you like 40 million down, man. Cause he just said he was 40 million down. Like you 40 million down, and they try to buy it for 2 million. He's like, we gotta keep going, man. It's just either we lose or we win. We gotta keep pushing, man. I like the decision that, like, the way they make the decision, man. Cause it's just like, it's easy. Cause they feel like, you already down 40 million. Why not keep pushing? Cause 2 million is like nothing. You just give up on. It's just nothing at that time, man. Let's check it out, man. Let's keep pushing.
$70 million offer.
6, 7 is what I felt we could sell it for. And he says, all right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So he hangs up the phone, and I'm like, this is a fucking wrap. This is fucking, it's over. The next morning, I'm driving to work, and he calls me and says, fuck it. Let's keep going.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So we start working really hard on trying to figure out how to get on fucking television, because we think that that's the key to success. We believe that if we get on free television, more people will see this, love it like we do, and it'll work.
And is that Spike?
So, then Spike TV.
Don't let me jump ahead. If there was another moment that changed things.
You're dead on. So what happens is, I want to say it was the Nashville network or whatever it was before it was Spike. They switch it to the men's network, Spike TV.
Yeah.
And we're like, if this isn't a fucking perfect slam dunk for us, right? What's more of a men's show than fucking UFC? So we go and pitch the guys on it. Spike hates it. They don't like it. And we remember that day. We talk about it all the time. These guys it was in LA, and they were going to the fucking Dodgers game that day. And they could not get out of this fucking meeting fast enough to go see the Dodgers play. And we called them back a few days later and said, because it was going to cost $10 million to produce the show, The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Because reality shows were hot at the time. So we came up with this concept for the reality show, and that's what we pitched them on. So we called them back 3 days later and said, well, what if we put up the $10 million ourselves? They like that idea better. So I'll tell you what else is incredible. So because, again, nobody believed in this
You
thing,
retain
right?
everything from
So we put up the money. We retain 100% of all the rights.
Oh, shit.
So we own everything, lock, stock, and fucking barrel.
Do you remember what their reservations were at the time?
Great question.
It's just nobody fucking believed in this thing, and nobody thought it was going to be fucking big. And you know, it's sort of become my thing. It's what I fucking love to do. It's the same thing with Power Slap. This thing got shit on. This thing's been around for 15 months.
Is legendary, man. Power Slap, man. You gotta watch that Power Slap, man. I watched it a couple times, man. I be going nuts, man. I'm like, you just sit up there, wait for the guy to hit you. He's just like, oh. But it's a lot of fun, man. I just watch it. I watch Power Slap a lot, man. I just watch it so he's see the reaction of the guy that just got slapped, man. Cause you know you just got slapped. What you thinking about? What's in your mind, my boy? I like it, man. Let's keep pushing.
$750 million business.
Yeah,
and it fucking crushes it.
Yeah. We have all that.
It fucking, I knew it was going to come up.
Then I said that you brought it up. I didn't bring it up.
I literally just got off a fucking call with one of the networks talking about it. But
yes,
it fucking
a pretty good network.
Absolutely fucking dominates social media.
So here's the thing about this: is that it's impossible when you know someone's going to get slapped to not watch. It's literally like if you're scrolling on social media and I come across the clip, it's impossible. I see a giant Samoan guy and a black dude looking at him and he's just biting down on something. I'm gonna fucking watch.
That's what happened to me when I started looking at this stuff in like 2018. It was on Instagram and this stuff was coming out of Russia and Poland.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this, right? So I take a deeper dive into it and looks like it was filmed on a flip phone in a barn somewhere. They're literally slapping over a barrel. Yeah. And it's got 350 million views on YouTube. And at the time, that was like a fucking Justin Bieber video.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? What if I did this?
Yeah.
Made it an actual sport, got it sanctioned, and put good production value behind it? The answer is fucking billions of views.
Yeah.
Billions of views globally. Yeah. And it destroys. Think about this. We started this thing 15 months ago, right? And right now on YouTube, we have more subscribers than NHL, MLS, NASCAR, PGA, Barstool Sports. We have over 1 billion YouTube views, right? Wow. Yeah. 8 of the top 12 largest YouTube shorts against other major sports are Power Slap. And 4 of the top 5 largest YouTube shorts on UFC channel. We're number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on UFC. And when you think about Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, all the big stars, this thing absolutely dominates.
Definitely. Because this thing is just like, you just want to watch more. You watch one, you see how you get slapped. But what I want to know, man, what's like the mental side of it? Like, because they be, people get slapped from this right here, man. It's just, I feel like there's some brain issue. Like there's some guy that's going to come up with a brain injury, with face injury, those kind of stuff gonna come up. But I'm sure Dana White already thought about that. So those kind of guy, I believe they probably at the doctor all the time. They get checking out before the fight, after the fight, the mental set, everything. So I'm pretty sure Dana White's on that. But I'm looking at it like 5, 10, 20 years from now, those kind of guys that be getting slapped, man. I'm looking at 20 years from now, like when those guys under 50, are they gonna react? When they under 60, are they gonna react? Like if it's the brain gonna be functional the right way when they on those latest age, like 60, 50 years old, how they gonna react? Like, is it they still gonna have a mental set, like they can't even talk or they can't even think about something? So I'm thinking about later on how this gonna affect them, man. I just want to know what. You haven't been here long. This show, the slap always probably come up like a year or two, not even 5 years, a year or two. So it just come out. So we don't really have those statistics to know how long, the effect, how those people get infected with those kind of slap, right here in your face and stuff like that. Keep getting slapped. Some guys stay on for like 4 or 5 times. They get slapped. they go at it again, they get slapped again, they go at it again, they get slapped. It's just like a on and on type of stuff. And you watching it, you like, you know, how much can you take, man? How much can you take? You just gotta go on. But the thing is, I just you know, we don't have that kind of history of the slap game. We don't have that kind of data to know how those people gonna react like 10, 20 years from now, how that gonna affect them and going on. So we don't really have those kind of data. But I imagine like 10, 20 years from now, it's gonna have some kind of effect on them. You know, I don't know what kind of doctor all those, you know, they're going to, you know, have all those mental set, do all those therapy with them, go to the doctor, check the brain, the eyes, the face. You know, they do that constantly. I believe they do that. Dana White's on top of that. So I think they handle it right now. But what I'm looking at it 10, 20 years, you know, how that gonna affect those kind of guys that be going at those things, man. But it's fun to watch. It's just like, it's a lot of fun to watch. It just feel like, you know, down the line, it's just gonna be like, those kind of guys gonna look back and they're gonna have to make a decision, like, is it worth it, like, to go get slapped over and over again? I mean, they're gonna get money, yeah, they're gonna get rich, yeah, but, you know, down the line, play with the grandkids, how they gonna be, you know, feeling like they can play with the grandkids because my brain, because I can talk, I can see nothing, you know, on my left eye is just, it's just like that, man. It's just gonna be a lot of issue. I don't know, but I just feel like it might become an issue later on for those type of people, man. But it's not. That's you know, that's something I'm sure they have the insurance. They got all those kind of stuff figured out, so people can get checking out from time and time again. So, but other than that, man, that's it. I just think like I feel like they should definitely think about the long-term effect on those kind of guys, man. I'm sure Dana White's on the top of it, but hopefully it's not really affect them that much, man. Hopefully, like 10, 20 years from now, man, they're not gonna be like, you know, fell off, you know, the mind, they can't even think, they can't even see stuff, the brain injury, all those kind of stuff. I'm hoping when they're under 20, 50, 60, they not really feel like that, man. If you get it that far on that video, man, you should definitely consider subscribe to this channel, man. I'm Greg. I'm here. I'm dropping stuff every single day, man. Sometimes twice a day, man. Support this channel, man. Subscribe for now. Pretty soon we're gonna start a Patreon. I believe that's how they say it, Patreon. I'm gonna start a Patreon pretty soon, man. So you guys can donate if you want to. You guys can contribute to the content that I'll be putting on for you guys. I appreciate it, man. Let's keep pushing with it, man.
We have more followers than every single professional sport. Every professional sports team, we have more followers than them. In 15 months.
Wow. More than like Real Madrid or like these soccer teams?
I don't know about the soccer teams, but I would say yes. Yeah.
I think for the soccer team, I think Dana White already come back on that. So they don't have that much view than the soccer team. Because soccer, it's you know, it's massive. In Europe, Africa, soccer is globally. But slap is just a couple, you know, the slap fight. It's just a couple countries that have it. We have it here. We have it in US. We have it in Europe. Not a lot of countries, you know those kind of sports. But the soccer, it's all over. So the soccer got more view, man. Didn't I already come back and that is corrected already? So it's all good, man. Let's keep pushing.
We have more followers. So I would say yes. Yes.
Did you acquire the IP or did you just create your own?
No, we created our own and started. You know, there were a couple of fucking leagues out of Poland and Russia. So I just started our own.
And why didn't you do that with UFC originally? Like, why would you purchase those 3 letters and the wooden octagon?
Well, the UFC fell on my lap. Right. I mean, I was in the middle of that call.
Yeah.
and we could buy the thing for $2 million, why would you not buy the UFC?
That makes sense.
You know what I mean? We probably wouldn't have gone out and started our own league, but
the fact that
the
it was
thing
there
fell
was
on my
just-
lap. Yeah.
Okay, but we can get to Power Slap in a little bit. I still want to go
it's just
through the UFC.
Back to the show.
But
Okay.
the similarities between what's going on
This
with
is
that
why you
right
believe in
now,
it so much, because you. So when people go,
I want you guys to wrap your fucking brains around this.
Yeah.
When I talk about Power Slap,
Yeah.
you're all dismissive, like,
Nobody's
no,
dismissive, but I
the
love how you
UFC
are.
Yeah, he
was
needs that.
fucking
He
worse.
needs that.
Yeah.
The UFC was worse.
No.
Worse.
Now I know how to
No.
motivate you to do
Yeah.
anything.
No,
I just gotta tell
nobody-
you, it's not
Nah.
gonna work.
Hey, Dana, this thing
That's
sucks.
what I love.
This thing-
love it.
I know.
It happens every day. When I
They
think
know I
Power
can
Slap was
take
the
it,
front
man.
runners,
No
what's
one
the
you
name?
can
With the
take
no-
it.
Dana, you won't go to Turkey and get hair.
Let's throw it out of there. It's a throw
You won't
man,
get hair
man. Let's
transplant
get
in
it.
Turkey, Dana, no
No.
matter what. I promise you.
You will make this the biggest podcast episode ever.
Love
I bet
it.
you can.
Don't
I
make
love
this
it.
the
I bet you
number
can't
one
do it.
episode of
I
this.
love it.
Okay, you love being told no. You love being told it's not going to happen. And you're out of your mind.
You know, it's easy. When I hit you with fucking numbers, you
Yeah.
can't.
You can't refute it.
We have more views
Yeah.
than any Taylor Swift video ever posted.
Oh, now you talking about the Swifties, bro.
Power Slap has more.
Swifties step
We
it
have
up.
more views than any fucking Taylor Swift. post
Imagine
ever.
you got Taylor
there's
in one.
There's other stats that I can hit you with that are just fucking.
You got to get Taylor to do a power slap, dude.
But they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
But when you look at this thing from a business perspective and you
Taylor
look
and
at the
Billie
numbers,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And, but we're talking about guys fucking slapping each other.
Yeah.
You guys are like, let's talk more about the UFC. The UFC was worse. When we would walk into a room,
that's why we
nobody
wanted-
wanted to
yeah.
hear the fucking UFC. The UFC's fucking gross.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
fucking hit somebody and jump on top of them and
Yeah.
start beating them. It's disgusting. It's fucking this, that, and
Which
everything
is the
else.
same thing they're saying about
Now,
power slap.
100%.
Yeah,
Now it's
and
the
I
best.
remember the
UFC
early
is
days
the
of
best
UFC.
sport
My
right
dad is
now.
like lifelong
Like,
boxing
when you're
fan.
watching it,
Used
you
to
enjoy
go
it, man.
to
That's
Ali's
one of the
camp in the
best sport right
Poconos,
now.
interview all the guys. Like he used to work for NBC, and lifelong boxing fan. He saw some UFC early, and he said this. He goes, "I know this makes no sense, but it's too violent for me." And this is like saw Sugar Ray Robinson driving around New York City when he was a kid. Like
Yep.
loves boxing,
Yep.
but it seemed too violent for him.
100%.
So I
Think about
see-
this.
Yeah,
On
no.
average, 10 to 12 boxers die a year, right? In boxing,
This is what I've tried to
30
explain.
years. Never a death
Knock on
or
wood.
serious injury
This
in the UFC.
and this is what I tried to
That's the
explain.
difference between UFC and boxing, man. Boxing feel like I think the glove they be using is different than UFC, but there's people that's really dying like in boxing, you know. Not on stage, but I don't remember if I see somebody die on stage while they was fighting, but they definitely get to the hospital, and you know, yeah, I heard that story before, but yeah, Dana White just said just like 4 people that died at the boxing, and UFC haven't have nobody, like zero people that's died. That's amazing. That's amazing too, because UFC have the nasty fight, you know, people blood everywhere, face get messed up and stuff like that. So you expect somebody to die from it, but no, UFC's people survive, man. There's nobody dead in UFC, man. That's an amazing record right now. I just didn't know about that. That's amazing.
Explain to it. I'm sure you know all these stats, but this idea, people didn't realize that the gloves, which we thought protected the boxers, actually can cause more.
100%. And all the sparring, but more importantly,
It is the sport.
These guys-
a lot of people I don't think a lot of give enough. Yeah, it's like the old sparring wars that they
Yeah.
used to do. Like I'll talk to some of the guys. Like I was talking to Max Holloway, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't really spar that much anymore." And like a lot of guys have limited it, and maybe they just have incredible timing and they can get away with it. Where certain guys they just need to get in there and they need to get the work in. But that will take years off your fucking
100%.
life.
Yeah, the micro concussions, right?
And the other fucking thing that they never do in boxing is every time you put on a boxing event, it's a going out of business sale. They're trying to grab as much money as they possibly can.
Yep.
They don't reinvest in the sport. But one of the big expenses for us that we spend shitloads of money on is health and safety. So if you take these guys and you put them through the proper medical testing before they fight, you have the proper testing there, and then so many times when we watch a crazy fight, we're like, send them straight to the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
No fucking PR, no nothing.
Yeah.
As long as you spend the money medically.
Yeah.
It's you make it as safe as you possibly can.
Okay, what is the turn? Spike TV comes out.
So yeah, we're at Spike TV.
Yeah.
You bought the rights for $10 million.
So Spike TV, we put up the $10 million and we launched The Ultimate Fighter. The Ultimate Fighter fucking takes off.
Immediately?
Yeah, immediately. By episode 5, we're pulling such massive fucking numbers.
Wow.
It's fucking, so again, sort of I don't know. This is the way that shit has always worked out with me. But the thing's a runaway fucking hit. Now, when you have runaway hits on networks, you're on fucking billboards, buses, they're doing ads and other. The fucking president of the company gets fired halfway through the fucking season.
Okay. Wow.
So every fucking thing we thought was going to happen or whatever, plus we're a time buy.
Yeah.
We bought our way onto the fucking thing. We're getting nothing. Nothing.
So you're the biggest show on the network. No promo from the network. The new guy comes in. You like him.
We're the biggest new show in the network because the WWE was on there at the time too.
Fair enough.
So
yeah,
we're the biggest fucking hit they've ever had that's homegrown on Spike TV.
Got it.
Right? All their other shit flops, right? We're fucking homegrown home run.
Okay, before...
We're getting zero love.
Okay, before you talk about this is the first time you've had positive reception for this thing that everybody says is not going to work.
100%.
Do you call people and you go, fuck you?
No, not yet.
Okay. Take us there.
Not yet.
Take us.
So we're sweating it the whole fucking season right up to the finale. We have no new deal. These guys have fucking promised us nothing. We have nothing. Man. We go into the finale. The finale starts out, Diego Sanchez.
That's right.
Runs through Kenny Florian like it was nothing. All the fights have been fucking meh.
Wow.
Then Forrest and Stephan Bonner come out in the main event and just start going fucking
crazy,
toe to toe, knock down, drag them out. The fucking people are stomping their feet in the arena. It sounds like a train's going through the fucking place.
Wow.
It goes right to the fucking decision. They read off the scorecards. Forrest Griffin fucking inches it out and wins the fight. I give them both a fucking contract. Place is going crazy. Oh, by the way, the crowd is chanting one more round,
Wow.
all this shit. And during that, it was like 3 to 4 minutes of that fight. So this is before computers. This is before social media, all that shit. People are picking up their phones, calling their friends, going, "Are you watching this fucking fight right now on Spike TV?"
Was it a live
point?
Oh, it spiked during the fight.
During the fight.
Oh, because it's Nielsen ratings. You can time when the spikes are. Oh shit!
We had more people watching than the Masters on CBS at like 3 minutes during that fight. Wow. So literally, we don't know all that night. We just know
this is
something special just fucking happened here.
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck if we re-signed the deal with Spike or whatever. I knew we had it. The Spike executives literally pull us out in the alley at the arena because we're at this small little Cox Pavilion. It's called the Cox Pavilion, and we go out in the alley. We do our television deal on a fucking napkin in the alley.
No way.
For our new Spike TV.
Do you know what you're asking for immediately going in? Or
Just like that.
It's just sort of all played out in the alley.
When you got one, you got one, man. You know you got one, man. That's amazing, man. The story, the way the UFC come, man. If you make it that far on that video, man, you're a real one for that, man. Subscribe, man. Comment, man. I wanna know how you guys feel, man. Comment, like the video, man. Subscribe, definitely subscribe. But I wanna hear how you guys think about my content type of stuff, man. Subscribe and comment, man, and I get back to you. I always respond to my comment, man. I see it. If if something you wanna tell me, I did wrong, I did right, whatever, man. Just let me know. Then I comment back, I check on it, man. I respond, man. I always respond it. Check it out, man. Let's keep going.
Out there.
So you do the short form right there. We're signing on. It's going to happen. We'll deal with the money.
This is like a handshake, fucking.
So they're shaking in their fucking boots. They see the Nielsen. They see the ratings probably spike. Everybody's going fucking crazy.
Well, this is right after the fight.
Taping.
This is literally that night.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that night we go right out into the alley and fucking.
No, he's saying when it came
you weren't getting Nielsen
when it got
ratings back till
2 months later.
Oh, so you wouldn't get it way later. Okay,
yeah, you weren't getting Nielsen ratings back for fucking. This was on a Saturday. You weren't getting the real numbers till Wednesday.
So they just felt it. They're like, this is going to be.
If you were in that fucking building that night, you knew something special just happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Forrest after? Like, dude, that was crazy. Like, what was that? That.
No, I think. Well, then that was a wild ride for everybody because if you look at how that thing blew up. Forrest Griffin obviously became a huge pay-per-view star. Nobody knew who the fuck he was going into season 1, and now he's our biggest pay-per-view star.
Yeah. And he's still working with you guys.
And you got Chuck and Tito and all these other guys, right? And obviously, that season, the coaches were Chuck and Randy. So that was fucking huge. They became big. And yeah, that was it. It just, from that fucking night on.
And pay-per-view start after that.
Moment, man.
And the first,
that's amazing.
So that's the moment. You get out. You get into the the black.
Well, no,
you dig. We dig out of the red.
So we just knew something special happened that night, and that we had something.
Sorry,
right?
what year is this?
So then this is 2005.
Okay.
So then it was probably in 2006 or 7. I can't remember which it was, 2006 or 7. We're in a fucking budget meeting, and let me tell you what you didn't want to be in. We're budget meetings the first 5 years of fucking UFC. So we're in this budget meeting, and Lorenzo is up writing on his whiteboard, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Does that say I'm going to make $1 million this year?
No.
And he's like, yeah. So 6 or 7, we started to climb out of the fucking hole and out of the $40 million fucking.
Okay. Wow. So you start making money. There's got to be another plateau that you hit. Is it with talent? Is it with change in a deal? Is it like a specific guy?
Well, what starts to happen then is you start to, it becomes a real business. Now you start figuring out how to run this. We're doing things in the combat sports world that have never been done. Everything we're doing has never been done.
Wow.
Think about boxing, right? Tell me if there's ever been a business in the history of the world that has made trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's nothing there.
Left. Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Wow.
That's what you mean by going out of business sale.
Right?
There's not like a league. Right? You have different promoters. They're negotiating with each other. Sometimes they're keeping their fighters from fighting each other. How often growing up was there an Aram fighter that wouldn't want to fight against, who was it, Golden Boy, that Bob would always be with you?
Well, you couldn't get Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis to fight each other. He'd all throw the belts in the trash or fucking this and that and all this other shit. It took fucking Saudi Arabia to make these fucking fights that are going on now. Yeah. Because you got guys that don't give a shit what it costs. Yeah. They're like, fuck it. I want to see, you got this guy, Sheikh Turkey, that's like, I want to see this fight. Yeah. I'm going to make it happen no matter what the fuck it costs. Yeah. And they don't care if they make money. There's never been a scenario like that. I mean, the pinnacle of boxing was HBO. Yeah. And HBO would throw some of this money around to make the big fights happen. But even HBO got to a point where you'd have guys who are house fighters, right? Whether it's Roy Jones or whatever. Yeah. And they're just fighting guys. None of the big fights were really happening then either. It took fucking Saudi Arabia to make it happen. Wow. We built a business where every fucking weekend you see the fights that you want to see.
Because you're invested in both fighters that are fighting.
Yep, exactly.
I think that's a big difference.
We're invested in everything.
Yeah, you didn't see that in boxing.
Everybody fucking wins. At the end of the day, 2 fighters come in and somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. But if you lose...
Both of them are signed.
It doesn't mean you're dead. Yeah. It's the end of your fucking career. Boxing got to a point where if you lost a fight...
It's over.
Yeah.
So you fight it.
And then what I noticed was, this is what I started to look at. HBO had a guy that they signed, and he could lose fucking 3 fights in a row, and he'd still sign a massive fucking
Ricardo Mayorga.
No,
you lose, but you're still winning, man.
Arturo Gatti.
Arturo, of course.
Arturo Gatti.
I mean, there's been a few of those, but go on.
Arturo Gatti would fucking lose, but he'd sign another big deal with HBO. You know why? Yeah. Because people didn't give a fuck whether he
loved how he
fought.
fought.
They loved how he
Those
fought.
Mickey Ward fights.
100%.
Arturo Gatti got to fight Floyd.
It's about the contract, man. You can lose, but you still making money. It's just amazing. This concept, I like it, man. People fighting, they still making money, man. It doesn't matter. They win the fight, There's always gonna be a next fight, so they can win. They can win the next one. So you just gotta keep pushing with it.
Mayweather, he should not, with all the respect, rest in peace, but he should not have been fighting Floyd. And we watched it.
He was a blood and guts fucking guy that people loved, and I said, you can build a business around guys like this. Guys that go in and give it all they fucking got, win, lose, or fucking draw. People want to see good fights, because you know what people are fucking tired of? Seeing multimillionaires run around in circles and not fight so that they can move on to the next big fucking payday that they didn't earn or deserve.
Okay. Wow. One thing I notice about UFC that I think separates it, there's a reward structure I think Chael put this the best, actually. You don't tell fighters what not to say. Because when you tell people what not to say, you are telling them what to say. And you don't believe in telling them what to say.
Fact. And I don't believe in controlling other fucking human beings.
But here's the thing that I think UFC does really well. And I want to know if this is like conscious effort. There is a reward system that's built into UFC that oftentimes induces the most exciting product. So you could look at it at the most simple level, which is like, hey, there's a best fight bonus. Both of you guys get it. You were involved in the best fight. You both get it. So it makes people show up and go, I'm going for it today. Now, how do we make it more interesting? Let's bonus it out. Do you come into this trying to fix this problem in boxing?
Oh man.
I'm saying, when is this problem solving start?
Let me tell you this. If you know that you're going to go in and you're going to make $30 million, right? It's guaranteed. It's in the bank, $30 million. Yeah. All you got to do is win. And maybe you can get $35 million for the next fight. Right?
I'm on the bicycle.
You don't have to be exactly. You're going to fucking do everything you can to avoid a fight and just make it to that next fucking payday. That's what ended up happening with boxing. And, what we did is we built incentive to go out and fucking perform. And that's how you build a brand, and that's how you build a sport, and that's how you build. I'll give you another perfect example that's fascinating is fighters are the most paranoid people in the world. All of them. Completely paranoid.
Really?
We'll set up a fight and they're like, oh, he wants me to fucking lose. You know what I mean? He wants this guy to fucking win. They have this type of paranoia. And you saw it recently with Dustin Poirier. So we made the Saint Denis fight, right? As soon as the fight goes out, all the people are going, oh, they don't like Poirier. They're trying to get Poirier killed. Poirier kind of freaked out a little bit. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Poirier goes in there.
Dog.
And look what he fucking does. Look what he does, right? He wins the fucking fight. It's like, sometimes we'll make a fight and fans or media will go, this is a shitty card. It hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
What'd they say about 300?
Who the fuck are you to say this is a shitty card before it fucking happens? Listen, when the card's over, I'll be the first one to tell you the card fucking sucked, right?
Yeah.
You can't judge anything till it happens. And when you get in these positions, like what it happened in boxing for years, like Poirier thinking we wanted him to lose. He goes out and he fucking, this is legendary shit that takes you to another level and makes you great. Yeah. And where is he this fucking Saturday?
Championship.
He's fighting for the fucking world title.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? Because he went out and took that fucking Saint Denis fight that everybody thought he couldn't win.
I feel like we've been manipulated or we're scorned from watching so much boxing. And again, I'm a boxing guy. I came from boxing. I watch every single fight growing. I'm obsessed with boxing.
Me too.
And I'm watching fights and I'm like, okay, this is a tune-up or this is a tomato can or this is whatever. If it was boxing, my mentality would be like, oh, they're saying that Poirier's done. Now he's going to be a gatekeeper. And this is who we're going to use.
He's a stepping stone for Saint Denis.
Exactly. And Saint Denis is going to be our new star. So we're taking the boxing mentality. If you take the mentality that the best thing for the UFC is that the fights are most interesting, it's not if Saint Denis wins or if Poirier wins. It's that the fight is most interesting.
Yep.
And if you look at it through that lens, then you'll also understand Ian Gary versus MVP. MVP's second fight in, you're like, whoa, the boxing mind is, whoa, you might have a new star here. What? Yeah. And then this other guy's a star. One of them is not going to be a star if they lose.
So in boxing, you would keep these two as far away from each other?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we do the exact opposite. So you have all these media guys, like going into 300 media guys, the fucking guys that are on the internet, whatever you want to call these guys. I don't call them journalists.
I was skeptical of 300.
They fucking know nothing about this sport, and they know even less about the business of this fucking sport.
Yeah.
So, I literally just drown out all that fucking noise about people who think they know what they're fucking talking about.
Okay.
Because literally none of them do. And on the business side, we're doing shit that's never been done before. I'm going into the fucking Sphere in September. Why? Why am I doing it? I don't have to fucking do this. How much money I've already spent on this thing?
Dude, the video,
I'm $14 million in on this fucking show. And it's not till September.
On just the video stuff? because the video stuff is the most expensive. Yeah, it's,
dude, this is going to be fucking. I'm telling you.
I can't wait. I'm gonna react to that fight too.
It's never
gonna
been
be
done
in Mexico,
before.
yeah.
Nobody's ever done a live broadcast out of the fucking Sphere.
Yeah.
Right. And when you look at U2 and these other guys that spend the money to go in there, it's amortized over 40 events.
That's what
they're doing 40 fucking
it's
shows.
It's a month-long residency for that reason.
I'm doing one night. I got to come in and we got to figure this whole fucking thing out in one fucking night. That's awesome. Okay? And this is going to be a fucking love letter to the Mexican people, right? I have this thing, huge boxing fan, so I have this thing with Mexicans, man. When you tell somebody, I got goosebumps telling you this right now. When you tell somebody you fight like a Mexican, it's the biggest fucking compliment you could ever fucking give somebody, right? Some of the baddest motherfuckers that have walked the face of this earth have been Mexican. And the Sphere show is on Mexican Independence Day, and it's going to be the greatest fucking love letter to the Mexican people of all time.
Oh, they're pulling up.
I'm so fucking excited.
Do we have you have the whole card?
No, more. It's.
But can we
I'm not
something?
saying shit about the card until we get there.
Give us a name, Dana. Give us a name.
Think about all the best Mexicans that we have in the contract.
Yeah, we can take
and it's pretty much guaranteed they're all going to be there. Plus,
is there a BMF title?
Plus some big guys that aren't Mexican. I like your style. I like your style. A BMF title wouldn't be bad either.
Best Mexican fighter.
Never know.
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. I need to tell you about Bespoke Posts, okay?
That fight would be amazing, man. All the way to Mexico and stuff, and that'll be amazing. Man, there'll be a lot of people watching that fight, man. Let's keep pushing with it, y'all.
Oh, they're setting this guy up to fail. Is the mentality, and did you start this early on, if we don't put our prospects up against each other, we're just going to have easy wins, and it's going to be boring like boxing?
When you get to the fucking top 5, top 3 in the UFC, you've been through the fucking gauntlet. So, you know, right now in boxing, and always in boxing, WBC, IBF, WBA, da-da-da-da-da, right? You go, well, who's the best? Yeah. And none of these guys are going to fight each other.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who if you are the fucking world champion, there's no fucking questioning who the best is because you've already run through, you know, the baddest fucking people in the world in your weight class.
And now I understand why you get annoyed by media, because I remember when Sean was, Sugar Sean was coming up, and he was getting that, there was this narrative that like he was being protected, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember, matter of fact, Sean was with us in Phoenix, I think. We were doing a show in Phoenix, and we watched, no, what did we watch? We watched, was it the Gaethje fight?
I think so.
No, I think it was Haney Garcia. But, But, and he was getting this like rep, like, oh, they're protecting their golden goose, whatever. And I remember, it's so funny. I remember the Jan fight. I was like, oh, they're done with him. They're going to feed him to Jan. They don't think he's got it. That's my mentality coming from boxing, because that's what you would do if you were a boxing promoter.
Right.
And then him getting that dub changed his trajectory. So maybe that's what you got to do. Maybe you got to put him into the fire
100%,
immediately.
100%. If you make it into the fucking UFC, right, you're not fighting easy fights.
Yeah.
There is no feeding the golden goose. And how the fuck is he the golden goose?
No tomato
when we just fucking found
no
him.
Incentive
He's never won a fucking world title.
Yeah.
He does, you know, you don't know. You fucking test these guys.
Sorry to interrupt. There was this idea with boxing, I think, which was like,
well, now they're saying it about oh Jesus Christ, Bo Nichols. Now they're saying about Bo Nichols. Oh, Bo Nichols fucking. You know what I mean? It's like
now I understand
they said the
frustration.
same thing about Conor.
Because you're like, I'm making the best fights, and then when I do make the best fights, you say that I'm throwing someone out, and when it's that when he wins easily, you're like, I'm protecting him. So you're like, I can't win no matter what fight I make, and they're the interesting fights. Yeah. So I understand you go there and you go, fuck the media. Okay, now it makes sense because they'll never be happy. They have to find a way to criticize.
And it's not even that they'll never be happy. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You know, the great. It's one of the irritating things, but it's one of the greatest things about the business too.
Why?
Because let's say I came on here today, right, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the big cricket game this weekend. All right?
I know.
Yeah, you'd be the only fucking one. Okay. My point is, when you talk about fights, everybody has an opinion because everybody thinks they're a fucking expert. And nobody thinks they're an expert about fucking cricket, and some of these other sports. But fighting, everybody has an opinion one reason or another, or you don't like his fucking attitude. Like, if I brought up fucking Jake Paul, pretty much everybody in the room and the other room wants to see Jake Paul get knocked out. So you're hoping, you got the reason why you hope Tyson would pull this off.
I
Did you help set
outside,
that up?
man. I just
Because I know you're
see
close
it.
with Tyson.
God no. When this fight happens, Tyson will be 58 fucking years old.
I just want to see
Under any circumstances,
Why
a
would
fucking
nobody get
almost
knocked out,
60-year-old man shouldn't be fighting a 27-year-old fucking guy under any circumstances, even if it's Mike Tyson. So it's fucking ridiculous.
Now, do you think he can pull it off?
Do I think Tyson can land a shot? Yeah, if Tyson hits him.
But if Tyson lands it, like, what happens to the internet? If Tyson knocks out
my biggest problem with the Jake Paul thing is, and how this plays out, is when he actually fought somebody who was a boxer, who had the same type of record he has, who is his age,
Tommy,
and who is his size, he fucking lost.
Yeah.
So they're never going to go that fucking route again, right?
Close fight.
And they're trying to pull this whole narrative, like when people, I saw some guy the other day say, when are you going to stop fighting gimmick fights? Are you going to call Mike Tyson a gimmick?
Yeah. It is a gimmick fight, but if I'm him, I would never fight anything else but gimmick fights if I'm him.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to maybe...
If you can keep getting paid, right?
Tens of millions of dollars,
100%.
You do it. Like,
so then why are you so concerned about that
If you got people
fight?
that are fucking dumb enough to pay for that shit, and fucking,
well, it's on Netflix.
Good
You don't
for
even
you.
have to pay now.
Huh?
It's on Netflix. You don't even have to pay.
And brilliant move too, because you don't have to go pay. Everybody has fucking Netflix, so just turn it on.
Netflix
Fuck
wants
it.
something
I'll turn it on and see what happens.
So why are you so against the fight? Is it really just because of Mike's
I'm not
age?
against it.
Oh, I
love Mike Tyson.
Okay.
He's fucking almost 60 years old.
So you just worry for
You know
his
what I
health.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even though you see the way he's training and the way he looks,
My
he
fucking
still looks.
back is killing me today. Killing me. I have no idea why. I guess it's because I'm 50 fucking 4. You know what I mean?
That's reasonable.
I'm 54, so I guess that's why my back is fucking killing me today.
Yeah, so Mike is...
This guy's 27. He's in his fucking prime as a human.
Yeah.
And it's fucking...
But the internet explodes.
And I love Mike, and nobody wants to see Mike get beat by this fucking jerk off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think no one wants to see Mike lose.
Yeah, I think. But also, you and Mike are close, right?
Yeah, I fucking love Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson was one of the guys that I fucking idolized growing up, and one of the guys that made me love boxing as much as I do.
Didn't you tell me a story? Was it you to tell me a story about, like, Mike was going to do something. You're like, let me make some calls for you. And then you like got Shark Week.
Yeah, when he was fighting. He was fighting. And I said, don't fight. I'll help you make money doing other shit or whatever. So I got him a show on Shark Week. And he's like, so wait a minute, let me get this fucking straight. So I've been fighting my whole life. This is what I fucking do. You're worried about me, so you're gonna throw me in the ocean? He's like, fuck you, Dave. I didn't think about it that way. So apparently, the day that they shot that episode of him on Shark Week, everybody on set was fucking terrified because he was so freaked out by the whole shark thing. He was literally ready to beat the shit out of everybody on set. And fucking, I probably shouldn't have got him a shark.
It's like you put a tiger in a room full of people, man. You don't put a tiger in the room full of people, man. That's what Mike Tyson is. Mike Tyson is a tiger, man. You don't put him in the... No, that's not gonna work out for you, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. It's your boy Greg, man. It's about that time, baby. We out, man. Much love to y'all, man. Subscribe to the channel, comment, like the video. See you next time, man. Peace out.